What's going on, people? It is Irish Gunner HD here, you can call me Irish, and today you're going to be watching part 2 of that conquest on Sabalan pipeline that I posted part 1 of recently. I did put out a tweet recently saying that I'd accidentally deleted it and I made it derp and it lost forever the second part, but it turns out I didn't. I did in a way, in the fact that I deleted the Vegas kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, like the work in progress, like the Vegas project file kind of thing. So I didn't have like the edits and stuff that I made originally, like I didn't have the whole gameplay edited anymore. But what I did have was the original video file. So what I did was I just found out where I left off in the first episode, the first part, and I basically got to that point in the... you get the point. I got to that point, or you get the picture. I mean, I got to that point and I started from there and I re-edited it again. So you're not missing out on anything. It's completely from where I left off in the last part. So the second half is a little more disappointing in my opinion than the first. It was a very good game in the first overall. I'm not like the best player in the world, so you're not seeing like 101 gameplays, like so. Even though I do kind of well overall in the gameplay, I think I finished like 41 and 14 or something around there. So like overall it's a really good gameplay, but this second half you do see a good few deaths. But I hope the gameplay is entertaining enough to keep you watching. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. But anyway, today's topic is kind of twofold in a way. The first is people's reactions to the Battlefield 4 news that we've heard so far. So with E3 so close, okay, like E3 is, I think it's the 10th, and now is tonight, right now, it's just after 12, so it's the 9th technically, so E3 is technically starting tomorrow, and that's when we're going to see some Battlefield 4 live multiplayer stuff. And I'm really excited for it. Okay, so people weren't hugely impressed with fishing in Baku. I believe that was the name of the single player mission that they showed off there a couple of weeks ago. But there was this big roar and kick up and a big fuss caused over the fact that they didn't show any multiplayer gameplay. And they didn't show any, like, they just showed a single player mission. That was about it. Like, we didn't get a whole lot of a feel as to what the game's actually going to be like. And I just thought, shut your faces, all you fucking self-entitled, wanting more than you deserve assholes, okay? And if you're one of them, I do apologise. I don't mean to be rude, but you are one. Like, you literally don't... You've lost sense with reality, okay? And that's my genuine opinion. People that just want, oh, I want all this footage, and I want to see all this stuff straight away. I don't want to wait for trailers. I don't want... No. That's not the way it works, okay? You're, like, the developers... and the publishers, okay, whether you may consider it being like EA money grabbing, they have to tease bit by bit. They have to show little bits bit by bit. I'm gonna crush your dreams right now. If you're one of them people and you're expecting to see all the weapon customization and all the different levels and all the different, or maps I should say, all the different maps and all the different attachments and all that at E3, don't watch the presentation, because you're not going to, okay? Like that's just a fact. That's how these businesses do it, okay? It's like they do it in a teasing kind of, showing bit by bit by bit to get your excitement up, and then they show basically probably half of what you're going to see, maybe 3/4 at maximum of what you're going to see, but they keep a lot under covers, particularly when it comes to maps and stuff like that. We know that from Battlefield 3's layout. Especially stuff like maps, they keep that all under wraps. Like, you don't want to know the maps that you're going to be fighting on ahead of time, because that'll just ruin it. Like, that ruins the whole enjoyment of finding out routes and finding out where the bases are and finding out where the flags are and stuff like that, like, and what the TDM layout of the map is going to be. If we find out all that out before the game comes out, what the fuck is the point in playing the game? It's just something that frustrates me to bits, because it's just this. Sorry, I said just a lot there. It's this sense of entitlement and just, oh, I paid for the game and I'm a fan of the game, so I should learn everything as soon as possible, and you can't tell me that. No, just shush. E3 is coming up. We're going to find out a little bit more. We're going to see a bit of multiplayer gameplay. I think it was the Russian Badger that actually said, we're basically going to get what we got with the Battlefield 3 kind of launch kind of previews and stuff like that. It's going to be one map, and usually he put it perfectly. He said it's going to be like they don't want to show it like the public conquest on Bandar Desert. Okay, like they don't want to show nothing happening, you running for 10 minutes and then eventually getting into a big battle with tanks and vehicles. They will show Operation Metro, 64 man. That is what they'll show. They'll show the Battlefield 4 equivalent of Operation Metro 64 man, or like Operation Metro 32 man at minimum. Like they will show big epic fights with lots of gunplay and well angled cinematics and all that. They will show that. And that, like that's what you should expect, and that's what I think you should expect. Sorry, because people nowadays, and it's a separate topic. I realized like it was a topic that I was going to make a video on before. Like, did I make an actual video? I know Scanner Barkley did recently about gamers entitlement and all that, but it's something that just does my head in. As a level-headed normal guy that's willing to wait for stuff. When I see these, like, kids, and they must be kids, because if you're an adult and you have this attitude, you need to reevaluate yourself. Like, if you consider yourself an adult gamer, and you consider yourself intelligent, and, like, just a good person, basically, you won't have this attitude of, oh, I need to see everything now, and show me everything now, and I deserve to see all this. I'm completely entitled to this. I paid for your game the last time around. I deserve to see all... Like, you don't. It's like that's not the case. So just get ready for what you're gonna see. And what you're gonna see, in my opinion, is pretty much like just some hectic gameplay, some good gameplay, amazing graphics. I think we can all say, or we can all assume that the graphics are gonna be amazing. But like E3, although it is the big deal of the electronic world, it is pretty much just another way to advertise. They're not going to show the whole game off. And it was the same thing, sorry, I don't mean to go off topic so much, but it was the same thing with the Xbox One launch and the PS4 launch. People felt entitled, like to the point where they felt like they deserved to see the PS4. Like they felt like they were entitled to see what it actually physically looked like. And the same thing with the Xbox One. They felt entitled to see all the things that the Xbox One could do, and they felt entitled to see that all the games that it could play. They felt all this. Whereas in reality, just stop and realize that, like, no, that's not the way it works. It's called, like, teasers and trailers and promotions for a reason. Like, I don't even, like, I'm not entirely certain how to explain this. When the Xbox, okay, so I'll start with the PS4. So the PS4 came out, and people were basically saying, like, going crazy and saying, yeah, like, it's kind of cool, the hardware is impressive and what it can do, and the games are great and all that. But you didn't show us it. We didn't get to see it. You're such assholes. You didn't show us the console. Fuck you, Sony. You didn't show us the console. And it's just like, but we will eventually see it. Have you actually learned in the last 5 years or 10 years of your life? Have you become that much of an entitled asshole that you feel like you deserve or you have to see it? It will come in time. Have peace. Just relax. And it was the same thing with the Xbox One launch. Yeah, they focus mainly on TV. That may not be the way you want to, air quotes, launch your system in a way. Like that may not be the way you want to, like, start off promoting it. But dude, like, we're going to see more shit, and it will eventually come out. Like, the fact that they didn't show specifically what it looked like, it's not a big deal, and it hasn't been a big deal. Your life is still going on, isn't it? Or, sorry, no, I said what they didn't show what it looked like. I meant, they didn't show many games, and they focused on TV to a big point. Like, they made a big focus about the whole television aspect and being the center of your media room kind of thing. Like, that was what they made focus of. But, like, your life's still going on, isn't it? Like, you realize that you will still see it. Like, oh, you have to wait an extra couple of weeks or like a month or two. Relax, chill out, dude. Like, you just I'm just sick of all the negativity that's going around that's going on around all this. And you see me ninja avoid the tank there, but I eventually get payback. Somebody else comes up and gets me from behind, but either way, yeah, from behind. It was one or the other, from the front or from behind. But yeah, with E3 being so close, I just thought I'd cover. There was something else that I had in mind, and I probably said it at the start of the commentary, but I've gone on such a kind of long tangent there that I've forgotten what the other part of this video is going to be. But so I'll continue on about E3. So like E3, we're not only going to see Battlefield 4, and we are going to see it obviously. Like they've said, we're going to see the. Oh, that was it. I remembered it. So yeah, we're going to see Battlefield 4, and it's going to be good. It may not be everything that your self-entitled asshole of a dickhead brain wants. Again, I'm sorry if you took offense to that. I apologize, but it's just my genuine opinion. The other thing. A trailer came, or it was a mixture of like a trailer. I seen a GIF. It was actually a GIF on Tumblr. And there was a GIF, and also it must have been a video at some point, because GIFs come from videos, of, do you know like the Battlefield 4 kind of, air quotes, screensaver? Like the one that everyone knows, the soldier running in front of the tanks with the orange squares with little pictures in them. There was like basically a GIF of a video version of that, put up on Twitter. Was it Twitter or Tumblr? I think it might have actually been Twitter. I said Tumblr initially, apologise. It was Twitter, and basically the fine print in that advertisement said, it was more, again, I don't remember the exact words because it was earlier on and I'm quite tired now at this stage, but it was more along the lines of, any similarities with real weapons or real vehicles is not intended. That was the basic gist of the fine print, shall we say, in that tweet. And I thought that was pretty strange, because on one hand, we know that they're planning on like giving up their licenses and stuff like that. We know that. I made a commentary, in fact, on it about like earlier on last month or later. Jesus Christ, I'm so messed up with days and months, and like the time is just flying. Like, I made a commentary fairly recently, anyway, about EA not getting licensing for guns in future. But I didn't think that would be as soon as Bad Company 3. Battlefield 4, I didn't realise it would be this quick. I thought I assumed that they would be licensing the weapons for Bad. I keep wanting to say Bad Company 3. Sorry. I didn't think that they wouldn't be licensing guns for Battlefield 4. But that seems to be the way it is. I thought that they were going to license them for Battlefield 4, and then in any future games, be it Bad Company 3 or Battlefield 5, whatever they decide to do next, or go the Call of Duty route and go with a completely new series, but whatever they were decided to do, and I assume that they like this new kind of stance of not taking registered trademark names like the M16A3 and the Steyr AUG and the F2000 and the, I don't know, PKP Pecheneg or M19P. Again, I can listen weapons for ages, but I assume that they were going to continue that with Battlefield 4 at least. And then maybe in the next generation of games, they would they would kick in this whole notion of no, we're not paying for license anymore. And it's kind of come as a shock to me, because that means, and it's something that I don't think many other people have picked up on. That means that Battlefield 4 isn't, from what I'm understanding, it's not going to have a Steyr AUG or an M16A3 or an F2000 or a M40A5, because they're all registered. Well, I don't know the specifics of it. Obviously, maybe not all of them are like registered trademarks, but the vast majority of those you can guarantee are registered trademarks of Colt and Remington and Hetzler and Koch and all that. Like the M416, that's a Hetzler and Koch weapon. Like, I'd imagine that big giant German gun company would have a trademark on that name. So, I don't know where to, it's kind of baffling to me. Like, does that mean that we're not gonna have in Battlefield 4 in the very next game that's coming out? Like, I have it pre-ordered for PC, and I'm sure many of you, like many other of you people do as well. Does that mean that, like, when that game comes out, we're gonna be using like the H517 or like the M456? Like, again, like, I'm making a lot of confused, grumbly noises, but I don't know how to phrase this. It's just the possibility, like the very real possibility that we're not going to have like an M4A1. It's going to be like an M6A7 or something like that. It just looks similar. That's a scary thought, because, and I said this again, I'm repeating myself a little bit, because I have, like I've said, I've made this commentary before, but I found myself watching a lot of Warfighter videos recently, because I'm really sad that game flopped. I really enjoyed that game, the authentication behind it. Not that you didn't just have a red dot sight or an ACOG sight. You had a Magpul magazine, or what's the name of the company? Aim Point or something like that, something similar to that. You had like an aim point, whatever the name of the brand is, sight, or like you had a specific kind of suppressor, like a specific brand of suppressor, and it wasn't just an M416. It was a H&K 416. It was I think they even called the AUG the Steyr AUG. Like, they had all these official, legitimate titles, and I thought that was awesome. So the fact that, like, one thing that I would say, as much as an air quote flop Warfighter might have been, the one thing that I think like they could have taken from it for Battlefield 4 would have been the weapon customization and the licensing and the proper names and all that. That was incredible. That was a great amount of detail. So to know that that's more than, like, I'm going to say 90%, like, because obviously you can't be 100% certain just on what we've read, but that fine print on that advertisement made it, coupled with their previous statement about, like, they are definitely going against license and names and stuff like that, and just to go back on one of my earlier commentaries, why they're doing it, I think, is the fact that Warfighter was such a flop. There's no doubt about it. It was a good game. It was a fun game, and the customization was epic, and the amount of camos and all that you could do, and the parts and all that was brilliant. But it was a flop in the grand scheme of things. It didn't sell well. It didn't keep the players playing long enough for whatever reason. But I just assumed that we'd be seeing that kind of weapon customization and detail in weapon customization in Battlefield 4, and seeing this fine print combined with the ad is, in my opinion, at least 90% proof that that's not going to be the case. Like, we're looking at Battlefield 4 with the M13B7 or whatever. I always make up the random numbers off the top of my head, but they're the two topics I think that I wanted to cover. This game that you watched, I suppose I'll finish off by talking about the game. The game that you watched, as you can see, it's Conquest Large on the Sabalan pipeline, and again, I will say that it was great to have such an invigorating, epic, awesome game on Conquest, and especially Conquest Large, because, again, going back to the point that I made in another video previously, I mainly only play TDM now, I'm so fed up with the way people play the game. I get most of my enjoyment out of just running around on canals, and I know where people are going to be, and I know how to kick ass and that, like, so that's pretty much all I'm doing recently. So it was really good to get into a game of Conquest on Sabalan Pipeline, and to do so well. If you've seen there, like, we still had over half our tickets left. I can't remember what the exact ticket count was, but we still had over half our tickets left, so we did pretty well. I didn't finish top of the scoreboard, unfortunately, but I did damn well, in my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I rambled a little bit, but I tend to do that. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching the video, and goodbye.